a lap earlier, and he ended up staying on the lead lap. It's a good break for Almirola. Remember, he came with those flat tires. He was going to cycle way out to the lead on old tires and get gobbled up. Plus, he couldn't make it on fuel. So now Almirola, I think, could pit with this cycle. Now, it would be his last set of tires, but at this point, nothing really has gone right for the 20 other than having an amazing race car. So, Jeff, I think it might be time to... You either put the set of tires on now and cycle up with the leaders, knowing you're a set behind Cole Custer and those guys, or you stay out now, assuming we're going to have a caution. But as much green flag racing as we've seen, I'm just not sure we're guaranteed to see a yellow.
You almost have to wait, let the same cycle around to see where you are, how many cars are a lap down, right? I think it's probably going to be 15 or so.
So we're hearing a 39 of Ryan Sieg is going to be the free pass. He was the first car scored a lap down.
All right, so let's look at this right here. Make sure I have my line in the right spot. Above Creed is on the lead lap. So that means Custer will stay out. Chandler Smith, Hill, and Creed. You're going to have 4 cars that are going to stay on the racetrack. Almirola could be the 5th. 20-lap older tires, you could stay out and save that last set of tires. Everybody last on pit road around 93. They haven't made their green flag pit stop yet. They're all going to come to pit road. That is going to be very interesting. Then we're going to see who gets tracked down a lap by the guys that are still on the racetrack. So this is going to have to cycle a couple times for us to be able to give you a really clear picture of what the race looks like.
Yeah, because there's some cars that are in between Jones and what will be the leader, and those guys will get back in the lead lap. You just got to let it cycle. It'll be pretty clear here in a couple minutes.
Is Zilic on the lead lap?
Yes.
I mean, he scored on the lead lap, so I just want to make sure that...
Connor Zilic also was on the lead lap, yeah. So he's that last car. I knew I was going to get that line in the wrong spot. It was behind Zilic.
But it's all good.
Man.
Again, once the scoring continues to cycle through, we make sure everybody that's on the lead lap, and then guys that had just come, Steve, they take the wave around, so they make sure that they...
Well, they can't take the wave around if a car in front of them stays on the racetrack.
The key is some potentially are in between the 9 and then, the 81 and those guys. If you're in between it, then you can stay out.
So if you're in this shot right here, off the rear bumper of the 00, the 00 is going to stay out. You're not going to be eligible for the wave around. If you're in front of the 00, then yes, Rick, you can then wave back around. You can start all the way at the tail, but you're on the correct lap.
Well, it's the...
You think this is hard? You try to do it from down there on a pit box.
You were looking the other direction. For 6 times today, the Whelen caution lights have come on. Whelen, again, the official warning lights of NASCAR, trusted to protect first responders. 6 cautions, and I know we have 53 laps to go. But at Kansas, 6 cautions is probably one of the lower number of cautions at this racetrack.
And watch right here, the guys are coming down pit road, right? This is the leader of the race. Brandon Jones is coming down. See the 1 car of Mayer. He's going to stay out, so he'll get back in the lead lap.
Marty.
All right, cautions in the middle of a green flag pit cycle. Always a lot of fun. You see Brandon Jones coming down pit road, as you guys mentioned. His car just rolled at 2-3. The main playoff driver coming down pit road is Shane Van Gisbergen, who called his car, quote, woeful at one point, just with no grip. And also to answer the question about Eric Almirola, yes, he did come down pit road to get fresh Goodyear tires. So we'll see how all this plays out for the 20 car, yes, coming down pit road for those fresh Goodyears.
It looked as though Mayer, Allmendinger, Herbst, all were in that gap that you guys were talking about that could get the wave around. So now that we have had pit stops, when we come back, we'll reset the field.
Everybody be asking me, man, does the Bluetooth actually work?
Bro, you get a month for free.
It's free.
Why are you asking me and not finding out for yourself? The first month is free. Go get you some chewables, man, all right?
University of Maryland Global Campus is a school for real life, one that values the successes you've already achieved. Earn up to 90 undergraduate credits for relevant experience, and get the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. What will your next success be?
The impetus for Element was just a recognition that my health was impacted by inadequate electrolytes. There was nothing on the market that met the needs. It tended to be super high in sugar, woefully inadequate in sodium, when I finally did get my electrolytes on point, it was like a light switch was flipped. We've seen this play out across thousands of health journeys. I hope Element can be just as meaningful for you.
Join NASCAR's free rewards program. You can start earning points that turn into member-only rewards. You can earn every time you check in for a race. Visit NASCAR.com/fan-rewards. Cole Custer, last time by, scored as race leader. Chandler Smith, Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, all part of the top 5, as is Connor Zilich. All right, pros and cons of this caution coming out. Obviously, a pro for Cole Custer. He was on pit road right when it came out.
Yeah, Custer and Chandler Smith, I'm not sure it really affected them a whole lot. They were running 1-2. They're still running 1-2. I think the big difference, good break for the 21 of Hill, 18 of Creed. They're kind of pulled right up in there. Zilich, not a big change to them as well. I think it's for, other cars like Josh Williams, Ryan Siegs, Eric Almirolas, depending on the yellows. SVG, a big break for SVG running 11th.
There you go. Here's all the guys that were between the pace car and the 00 of Cole Custer. They all got waited around. Now, some of these guys maybe still one lap down because they were 2, but several of the playoff guys, Allmendinger, Herbst, Klickerman, those guys all waited around back into the lead lap. Sam Mayer.
That's who I think it really hurt, is Mayer, Allmendinger, Herbst, Klickerman. Those cars were all higher in the running order. They do get the wave around to just point, so they're back in the lead lap. But they're going to start tail end. They're going to be the last cars on the racetrack. So this was a 5 or 10 point swing for those 4 playoff cars.
You always want to pit early to put tires on a track where it matters, where new tires are faster. But the negative is if you go 4 or 5 and the caution comes out, it gets you in trouble.
The other thing that this caution does, it allows these teams to save fuel. So those that might have been really close, able to save enough fuel to make sure that if there is a green-white checker at the end, that they can make it through that as well. Kim.
And the other thing the caution did is give a little bit more time to Jesse Love and his team to make a big swing on that race car. Danny Stockman and crew chief said, get 2 jacks and a jack stand. We're going to make some wholesale changes. They put the left rear spring rubber out, air pressure adjustments on the tires, open the left rear shock, put Packer in. Jesse just complaining he was neutral to free on entry, and then several numbers tight center, saying the front end of that race car just did not work.
There's Danny Stockman, veteran crew chief.
See how that was here? He's listening to a lot in that right ear. I saw 3 cables plugged in just to the right. Yeah, look at that. 3 radio cables on the right, at least 1 on the left. That's why I have so many voices, Rick, after listening to that many for so many years.
I think the driver that has a lot to gain here, the 97 car, Shane Van Gisbergen, he's restarting at 11th.
And it will be 49 to go in this race. Cole Custer on the outside and Austin Hill on the inside row as we go back to racing.
Inside lane is just not accelerated best.
3 wide for 6th, and it's the 20 of Almirola who takes the spot and now is moving forward. He gets behind Connor Zilich, who's running 4th now. Daniel Dye in the 10, very close racing there between Alfredo in the 5 and Daniel Dye.
Yeah, look at this mess.
Jesse Love in the 2, hoping that the changes they made help the handling on that car. Now Almirola trying to take the spot away from Connor Zilich.
Oh, that's a take was a good word. That lap 25, I don't think it slides up in front of the 88. They're right off there, maybe too wide. But with 47 to go, Jeff, Eric Almirola knows, we've already documented just his experience, that you have got to shut the door and move forward. If you allow one more lap with that 88 on your right rear, it's just going to hurt your tires.
trying to join the group of 2 wins in the 20 car. So far this year, Bell has done it, John Hunter Nemechek has done it, and Ryan Truex has done it. And with 1 win already for Almirola, he's looking for number 2.
He's trying to make this pass on the bottom. You're going to make the bottom work. 2 tires at a time. Good entry speed. He's going to try to slide up in front of Eric. Eric's not wanting to let him do it, but took that spot. Good job.
Zilich a little more aggressive there. As the gap now between Chandler Smith and race leader Cole Custer is closing again.
Chandler Smith most of the day has had short run speed. Custer has had long run speed.
Chandler Smith looks to the inside for the lead.
Jeff, I think that point is very important in this battle. The 00 knows that even if the 81 gets by, make him work at it, right? Because his tires were falling off more already. As you see that 81, the back of the car gets really upset with the 00 on the outside of it. Oh, man!
Oh, that's tight.
I'm not sure that was clear. That might have been, a concession by the 00.
Cole Custer's looking at big picture a little bit more maybe than Chandler Smith is. Chandler Smith completes the pass, but look again.
Well, it started on corner entry because the 00 just laid the left side of his car on the right side of the 81. And right there, 00, a little bit of contact.
So now 43 laps remaining in the race. The 20 of Almirola back by the 88.
I think what's impressive about this run by Zilich is, think about who his teammates are at Junior Motorsports. And he has outrun them most of the day.
And Brandon Jones in the 9. Brandon Jones had won the pole, then fell back, the 9. The 8 of Sammy Smith had issues early. Justin Allgaier in the 7, also problems.
Well, that 21 is loose. Saw Austin Hill get in the corner and back of the car started moving around. Almirola saw it. He knows he got to take the spot right now. Drives in the corner pretty deep. Austin Hill tries to match the speed, but just can't do it.
I like this 20 car. I think he's the best car on the racetrack. A couple bad pit stops. One time into the wall with some flat record tires. He has no more tires left in the pit, so he needs this thing to run green to the finish. But now that he's in the 3rd, I think the 20 can put it right back up on the wall, Marty, where he's the best, and run the leaders down.
Yeah, time for the Toyota driver update with Eric Almirola now in 3rd, and that's a great point, Steve. New life now for Eric Almirola, who at one point was 25th a while ago, just a few laps ago, as a matter of fact. With that caution felt just perfect for them. It allowed them, because they were short on fuel, to pit, get new tires on, and then restart inside the top 10. And honestly, the closest they have been at the beginning of a run pretty much all day long, Ken. And remember, the 20 car might have the best long run car here today. We'll see if Eric Almirola can pull it off.
Another driver who has a good long run car is Cole Custer. Listen to what he said on the radio after Chandler Smith passed him. So Cole Custer knows he has a good long run car. Thinks Chandler Smith is a sitting duck, and part of this is being the defending champion. I asked Cole what he learned in last year's title run and win, and he said you really
second lead over Custer and 3.9 seconds back to his teammates, which is Eric Almirola running third. Chandler Smith out front.
Oh, we get it. You love your bike. We do too.
That's why we're America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
But do you have to wedge it into everything?
What? I don't do that.
This reminds me of my bike.
The roof was about the size of my new motorcycle. Have you seen it, by the way? Happy birthday, Grandma!
Really?
Look how the brushstrokes follow the line of the gas tank.
Hey! Bravo +1. Jamie.
The more love we give, the more love we feel. The more love we feel, the more rainbows we puke. The more rainbows we puke, the more oranges we get, the more flies. The more oranges we get, the more flies. The more deer we become. The more deer we become, the more friends we find. The more friends we find, the more our friends find us. The more our friends find us, the more love we feel. The more love we feel, the more love we give.
Are your headlights cloudy and oxidized, making your car look bad? Are they underperforming when you need them most? Cerakote's Headlight Restoration Kit restores weathered headlights back to like new and keeps them that way for life. Stop wasting your time with solutions that don't last. Cerakote's kit includes everything you need to go from this to this. Simply wipe away oxidation, give them a light sanding, and apply the ceramic coating. That's it. The True Ceramic technology does the rest. Buy any of Cerakote's #1 selling ceramic products for under $20 at these leading retailers today.
With so much great entertainment out there, wouldn't it be easier if you could find what you want all in one place?
My favorites.
Get Xfinity Stream Saver with Netflix, Apple TV Plus, and Peacock included for only $15 a month.
NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs is now on the CW Network. Your exclusive home to catch the faces of racing's future as they seek to take the lead and etch their names in history. It is impressive. Catch them on CW before the rest of the world catches on.
Next Saturday, the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs roll on at Talladega as the top drivers will jockey for playoff position in their race for championship. NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs from Talladega. That's next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, only on the CW. As Chandler Smith has a 0.8 of a second advantage over Cole Custer. It's 3.8 seconds now back to Almirola, so holding positions with now just 32 laps to go.
32 laps, the traffic ahead as we're on board with Custer. You see the leader out front, and then sporadic lap traffic. And a few tenths of a second, when you get forced off your preferred lane, you can lose that time very quickly. You really can. And, we said it earlier, Cole Custer has had the best car between these two on a long run, but Almirola might have the best overall car in the long run, but Almirola's over 3.5 seconds behind, and he's going to have to make some serious lap time if he's going to catch him.
I think he can, though. From what I've seen out of this 20, I think in about 15 or 20 laps, you could be talking 3 or 4 tenths of a second a lap. He runs the top as well as anyone. What I don't know is that damage getting in the wall earlier has it hurt something. And right there, 3 tenths of a second. You do the math. 30 laps, 3 tenths of a second, that easily makes up the gap.
It's worst case scenario, though, because Chandler Smith was behind a lap car, so that held him back just a little bit, but I say that, and here comes Cole Custer. Let's see what happens right here, because Chandler ran a very slow lap the lap before. And kind of the same thing we saw earlier. That 3/4 mark of the quarter is where Cole Custer's faster. Right here. And able to stay in the gas, really makes some ground up.
Okay, so if Eric Almirola, who races for Joe Gibbs Racing, does close the gap and gets to the 81, who races for Joe Gibbs Racing, is there such a thing as team orders? Because now you have Chandler Smith, who could advance in these playoffs with a win, with a teammate that is probably his biggest competition.
I think there are things as team orders have called go win. I think that's the team orders. And I think Eric Almirola would pass the 81 without any sort of thought. He passed him for the stage win earlier. He would do the same thing for the race win, probably try even harder. Well, already you see Almirola has cut that lead. It was over 3 seconds. Now it's down to just over 2.5.
2.7 seconds separating Chandler Smith now in Almirola, who's the fastest car on the track. Morning.
And not to complicate things, Rick, but remember Eric Almirola in the 20 car in the Owners' Championship battle. So, yes, I can answer that question. He would pass the 81 because there's something to fight for with the 20 team. They told him a moment ago, you've been 3/10 faster than both of the cars in front of you the last several laps. There's plenty of time to get it done. And then they threw this in, Jeff. Remember the 00 and 81 will start racing each other very soon. You'll catch them much quicker when that happens.
Well, I think that's a great point. Clearly, Custer's a little bit faster right now, but is Chandler Smith going to make the adjustment? He did not make it when we saw Cole get by him earlier in the race. Chandler kept turning down, just like he's doing right here, but he's going to have to make this adjustment. If not, Cole's going to pass him.
And you saw the statistics on the left side with Cole Custer's finishes here at Kansas. This is the only racetrack he races in the Xfinity Series that he doesn't have a top 10 finish in. Currently running second and about to challenge for the lead here.
I'd love to see Chandler right now, before the 00 gets right to his bumper, try the higher exit. Try to learn when you're not under so much pressure, but Chandler's just committed to turning and leaving low. And it might be better for Chandler's car, but I think it's just a huge advantage for the 00 that is leaving that lane. I agree with you, Jeff. If he can run the same lap time up higher, the defense alone would be an advantage. Even if he ran slower, right? Even if he ran a little slower up top, how is the 00 going to pass him on the bottom? I'll let you prove it to me. Almirola now closing into almost 2 seconds, so he's continuing to close it down. In clean air, it's kind of equal, but when the leaders catch traffic, I think by the time the third place car gets there, he just gets by them quicker.
Surprisingly, Almirola lost 0.3 of a second there on that last lap. It was already down to 2 seconds and went up to 2.3, but now it's going back down again.
It's a great battle. Remember, winning moves you to the next round of the playoffs. Now the 00 runs the lower exit, doing something different. It's like a carbon copy of what we saw the race earlier. The 00 started trying the bottom. Chandler committed. Oh, big run right here.
Still not able to clear him, but he's closed the gap to 1/10 of a second. And now Almirola's under 2 seconds behind.
Chandler has to make an adjustment. If Cole Custer enters the corner, enters 3 on the bumper of Chandler Smith with forward momentum, Chandler needs to get the thing on the boards, put the right side right against it.
Slower car right now in front of Chandler Smith.
And if the 00 can ever just drive up to the right rear bumper of the 81, I think between losing a lane of racetrack and the aero effect, that's going to make the 81's position even tougher to defend. And I think off turn 4 is the 00's option. He runs low here, try to get a run, stay close enough that when you gas up, you can get to the right rear quarter of the 81. I think he's close enough this time, Jeff. Yeah, Almirola to only a second and a half behind. Chandler Smith up higher. It won't stick. Oh, it's so close.
00 cannot get to that right rear quarter panel. But yes, the 20 is coming into the shot. So the 20 of Almirola now under a second and a half.
It's a game of inches, though, if you think about it. For Custer, he keeps getting closer and closer. He's going to enter turn 3, closer to Chandler Smith than he has this entire time. Let's see if he can make it happen. There's a lap car right against the wall. That's going to affect both of them.
Chandler stayed up a little higher that time. Now as he goes down, he's still able to stay in front of the 00. 1.2 seconds back is Almirola. 20 laps to go.
What a race.
And 20 laps is a long time for Eric Almirola and forever for Chandler Smith to try to continue to hold off the 0-0.
And think about the motivation in that 20 car. They're getting bigger and bigger, getting closer to them.
1.3 seconds. Can he get to the right report penalty? Still cannot.
Cole Custer needs to know that Eric Almirola is now only a second back. 1.2. He's coming. You've got to make this pass.
So far, the focus for Custer has been forward. But here in a little bit, he's going to have to start looking in the mirror.
Well, that's exactly right. You want to be on complete offense. And Chandler's doing a nice job. Chandler's car is not as fast. Oh, he's there now. He's there. Can he stay there?
Oh, he's crossed him over. He's going to have the inside into turn 1.
For the lead. A little paint exchange there as they go to 1.
And Amarola's going to get a big run here.
It was a second before those two ran side by side. The gap back to the 20.
I think Custer got angry at Chandler Smith right there and cut him off on corner exit. But he can't let his anger change what's working. Got to get back to that top.
Jeremy Clements in the 51 affecting the lines that these two run.
And that was a big gain for Amarola.
0.8 of a second now.
All right, get back focused. Go back to work.
Zillage still back almost 5 seconds back. He's running 4th. Under 17 laps to go. These two drivers trying to refocus.
And now no traffic between Almirola and the 0-0. I say that because, as the 0-0 gasses it up, will he be to the right side this time? No. I say that because the 0-0's been running the middle of 1 and 2, the 20 running the top. So will the 81 and the 0-0 give the 20 the top all the way around 1 and 2? No, now this time the 0-0 goes back to the top. Oh, I
Right
like
up against the wall.
Big momentum down the backstretch.
These two, both Chandler Smith and Cole Custer, a part of the 12 drivers that are in the playoffs. A win and you automatically advance to the next round of playoffs.
Oh, so close.
Almirola driving the 20, not in the driver's championship, but the owner's championship for that 20 car.
And Chandler's doing a great job right here. Good forward momentum from Custer. All right.